हेलो दोस्तों, एस के आई चैनल में आप सभी का स्वागत है। मेरे चैनल को लाइक कीजिए, सब्सक्राइब कीजिए और बेल आइकन का बटन दबा के उसको नोटिफिकेशन जरूर पाइए और अपने दोस्तों के साथ शेयर जरूर कीजिए। थैंक यू। साइंस सिविक्स क्लास 6 चैप्टर 9 अर्बन लाइवलीहुड्स। First, what do you see in the illustration? Second, you have already read about the work that people do in rural areas. Now compare the work that people in this illustration are doing with the work that people do in rural areas. Third, some parts of the city are different from the others. What different do you notice in this illustration? There are more than 5,000 towns and 27 big cities in the India. Big cities like Chennai, Mumbai, Delhi, Kolkata, etc. have more than a million people living and working here. They said that the city never sleeps. They visit one and find out about the work people do in the city. Are they employed by someone or they self-employed? How do they organize themselves? And do they have similar employment and earning opportunities? Working on the street. This is the city where my cousin lives. I have been only a few times. It is very big. Once when I came here, my cousin took me around. We left the house early in the morning. We turned the corner into a main street. We saw that it was already buzzing with activity. The vegetable vendor was busy arranging tomatoes and carrots and cucumbers in the basket. Her stall so that people could see what she had to sell. Next to her stall was a lovely, colorful one that sold all kinds of flowers. We bought a red rose and yellow rose. On the pavement opposite, we saw people selling newspaper with a small crowd of the people around him. Everyone wanted to read the news. Buses whistled past and there were auto rickshaws filled with school children nearby. Under a tree, a cobbler sat, taking his tools and materials out of the small tin box. Next to him, the roadside barber had to begin his work. He already had a customer who wanted an early morning shave. A little way down the road, a woman was pushing a long cart with all kinds of plastic bottles, box and hairpins, clips, etc. In it while another person on a cycle trolley was carrying vegetable to sell to the people in the houses. We came to a place where rickshaws were standing in a row, waiting for customers. We decided to take one to the market, which was about 2 kilometers down the road. Bachu Manji, a cycle rickshaw puller. I came from the village in the Bihar, where I worked as a mason. My wife and the 3 children live in the village. We don't own land. In the village, I did not get masonry work regularly. The income that I earned was not enough for our family. I reached the city. This city, I bought an old cycle rickshaw and paid for it in installment. This was my many years ago. I come to the bus stop every morning. I take the customers wherever they want to go. I work till 8:30 in the evening. I take rides of up to 6 kilometers in surrounding area. Each customers uh, uh, gives me 5 to 10 per trip depending on the distance. When I am ill, I can't do this work. So on those days I don't earn anything. I stay with my friends in the rental room. They work in a nearby factory. I earn between rupees 50 to 80 every day, which I spend on 50 to 60 on food and rent. The rest rent. The rest I save for my family. I visit many family, so my family survives on the money I send. My wife also earns from the agriculture work that she gets once in a while. Why did Bachu Manji came to the city? Second, why can't Bachu Manji live with his family? Third, talk to the vegetable vendor or hawkers or find out how do they organize their work, their way of preparing, purchasing, selling, etc. Bachu Manji has to think twice before taking a day off from the work. Why? Like Bachu Manji is a large number of people in the city work on the street. In the survey of the Ahmedabad city, it was found that 12% of all the workers in the city were people working on the streets. They sometimes sell things or repair them or provide a service. They work on their own. They are not employed by anyone and therefore have to organize their own work. They have to plan how much to purchase as well as where and how to set up their shops. Their shops are usually temporary. Sometimes they just some boards or papers spread over discarded boxes or maybe canvas sheets hung up on the few poles. They may also use their own carts or simply plastic sheet spread to the pavement. They can be asked to dismantle their shops at any time by the police. They have to know security. There are certain parts of the city where the hawkers are not allowed to enter. The vendors sell things they often prepared at home by their families who purchase, clean, sort and make them ready to sell. For example, those who sell food or snacks on the street prepare most of this at home. Often workers who make living in the city are forced to set up their homes on the street as well. Below is a space where suburb workers leave their belongings during the day and cook their meals at night. There are almost 1 crore street vendors in the country working in urban areas. Street vending was till present looked upon only as an obstruction to traffic and to people walking. However, with the effort of the many organizations, it is now recognized as a general benefit, as a right of the people to earn their livelihood. The government is thinking about modifying the law that ban street vendors so that they have a place to work and that there is also a free flow of traffic and people. Hawking zones have been suggested for towns and cities. It was also been suggested that mobile vendors should be allowed to move around freely. Hawkers need to be part of the communities that are set up to take this and other decisions relating to them. In the market, when we reached the market, the shops were just beginning to open, but the places was already crowded because of the festival season. There were rows of shops selling sweets, toys, clothes, footwear, utensils, and electronic goods. There was a dentist clinic also at one end. My cousin had an appointment with the dentist. We went there first so that we would not miss our turn. We had to wait for a while in a room before she was called inside. The dentist examined her and asked her to come back the following day to get a cavity in her tooth filled. My cousin was scared because she thought the process would be painful and was upset that she had allowed her teeth to go bad. From the dental cavity, she took me to a new garment showroom because I wanted to buy some ready-made clothes. The showroom had 3 floors. Each floor had a different types of clothes. We went to the 3rd floor where clothes of girls were kept. Harpreet and Vandana business person. My father and uncle worked in a small shop during the festival times, and on Sundays my mother and I helped them in the shop. I started working there only after I completed my college, Harpreet. We opened this showroom some years ago. I am a dress designer. Our business has changed. These days, people to buy ready-made clothes rather than have them stitched. The trend these days is for ready-made garments. You are also need a attractive display for them, Vandana. For our showrooms, we buy things from different places. We buy most of materials from the Mumbai, Ahmedabad, Ludhiana and Tripura. Some materials also come from Noida and Gurgaon, towns near Delhi. We get some dress items from the foreign countries too. There are several things we need to do to run this showroom properly. We advertise in various newspapers, cinema theaters, televisions, radio channels. Currently, this building is rented, but soon we plan to buy it. Ever since this market has become the main market for the people living in the surrounding apartments, our business has grown. We have been able to buy a car and book a flat in an apartment complex nearby. How did Arpit and Vandana start a showroom? What do they have to run the showroom? Talk to a shop owner in a market and find out how plans his work. Have there been any changes in his business in the past 20 years? What was the difference between those who sell on the street and those in the market? Like the Arpit and Vandana, there are many people who own the shops in the various market of the city. These shops may be small or large. They sell different things. Most of the business persons manage their own shop and businesses. They are not employed by anyone, but they do employ a number of other workers, supervisors, and helpers. They are permanent shops that are given license to do business by the municipal corporation. The municipal corporation also decides on which day of the week the market has to remain closed. For example, the shops in the above market are closed on the Wednesday. This market also has a small office and shop that provides services such as banks and courier services and others. In the factory workshop area, I wanted to have a jari work done on one of my dress which I needed for a special occasion. My cousin said that she knew Nirmala who works in the garment factory. Nirmala neighbors do jari work and embroidery. So we caught a bus and headed towards the factory area. The bus was really crowded. At every stop, more and more people got on, and hardly anyone allowed to make more space for themselves. My cousin guided me to a corner so that we wouldn't get squashed. I wondered how people travel like this every day. As the bus entered the factory area, people started getting off. We got off soon as at crossing. What a relief that was. There were a large number of people sitting on the railing or in groups at the crossing. They seemed to be waiting for someone. Some groups had people on scooters standing by and talking with them. My cousin explained that this place was called Labor Chowk. These were daily wage laborers who work as helpers to machines. They dig at the construction sites, lift loads, or unload. At Labor Chowk, daily wage workers wait with their tools for people to come and take them for work. Trucks in the market dig pipelines and telephone cables, also build roads. There are thousands of such casual workers in the city. We entered the factory area to find it full of small workshops. There seemed to be endless rows of them. In one section, we saw people working in a small room on a sewing machine, where clothes are being stitched. One person operated one sewing machine. The clothes that had been stitched were staked on one side of the room. We located Nirmala in a stitching unit. She was happy to meet any cousin and promised to get Zari work done on my dress. Nirmala works as a tailor in a export garment unit. The factory where she works makes summer clothes for the people in the foreign countries like USA, UK, and Germany and Netherlands. Workers like Nirmala have to go work very long hours in the months of December to April. The normal workers' day begins at 9 a.m. and finishes at 10 p.m. Sometimes even later, she works for 6 days a week. At times, when the work needs to be done urgently, she works on a Sunday too. Nirmala is paid rupees 80 rupees per day for 8 hours and rupees 40 for working late. By June, the work is over and the factory reduces staff. Nirmala will also be asked to leave. For about 3 or 4 months in the year, there is no work for her. Came as an off when the employer needs them. They are employed when the employer gets large order or during certain seasons. At other times of the season of the year, they have to find some other work. Jobs like Nirmala are not permanent. If the workers complain about their pay or working condition, they are asked to leave. There is no job security or protection if there is ill treatment. They are also expected to work very long hours. For example, in the cloth mill units, the workers work on day and night shifts, with each shift lasting 12 hours. One worker works on one machine for 12 hours and then is replaced by another on the same machine for the next 12 hours. First, what do you think small workshops and factories employ casual workers? Second, describe the working condition of the people like Nirmala, keeping in mind the following working hours, condition in the place, earnings and the days of the works available. Third, would you say that domestic workers like housemaids are also casual workers? Why? Describe the workday of one such woman, detailing the work she does in other people's house. Working in a call center in a new form of employment. The big cities. In a big cities, a call center is a centralized office that deal with problems and questions that consumers have regarding goods and purchase and services like banking, ticket booking, etc. Call centers are generally set up a large room with work that include computer, telephone set, and a supervisor station. India has become a major center not only for the Indian companies but also for foreign companies. They set up call center here. They can get people who can speak English and will work for lower wages. In the office area, my aunt Sudha was work as a marketing manager. She had asked us to reach her office before 5:30 p.m. We thought we would get late. We took an auto rickshaw that managed to get us there just in time. Her office was in an area surrounded by a tall building. There were hundreds of people coming out. Some headed for the car park while others went towards the row of buses. My aunt is a marketing manager in a company which manufactures biscuits. The factory where the biscuits are made outside the city. She supervises the work of the 50 salesperson who travel to different parts of the city. They get orders from the shopkeepers and collect payments from them. She had divided the city in 6 regions. Once a week, she meets the salesperson of each region. She checks their progress report and discusses problems they face. She has to plan the sales in the entire city and often has to work late and travel to different places. She gets a regular salary every month and is a permanent worker with the company. She can expect her job to continue for a long period of time. Being a permanent worker, she has also gets other benefits such as the following: saving for old age, a part of their salary is kept in fund with the government. She will earn interest on this saving. When she retires from this job, she will get this money and she can then live on that. Holidays. She gets often on Sundays and national holidays. She also gets some days as annual leave. Medical facilities for her family. Her company pays the medical expenses up to a certain amount of her and her family members. She gets medical leave if she falls ill, and her salary is not cut if she takes this leave. There are many workers in the city who work in offices, factories, and government departments, where they are employed as regular and permanent workers. They attend the same office or factory regularly. Their work is clearly identified. They get a regular salary. Unlike casual workers, they will not be asked to leave if the factory does not have much work. At the end of the day, we got into my aunt's car exhausted, but it had been so much fun, and I thought how interesting that so many people do too many different things in the city. They have probably never met each other, but it is their work what ties them together and helps to make up city life.